If you see West Indies playing in India, right, they're looking like a completely different beast.
The way South Africa has played, I mean, that'll be a very good game to watch.
I think India still have a chance, very strong chance.
In a crunch situation like this, what do you tell yourself as a player?
I just kept telling myself, let's just believe. I know if I stay till the end, I will get close and I will make the team win.
West Indies ने अगर South Africa को हरा दिया, then India will need to. Welcome to episode 7 of Off the Mark. It's absolutely crazy what we're going to discuss today. The calculators are overheating. India's qualification looks difficult, or the 2007 T20 World Cup history is repeating. Pakistan fans are eagerly waiting for today's match. West Indies is looking like a different beast altogether in India. A whole lot to discuss. Welcome to our guest. On my left is Imad Hamid, the media manager for ECB right now, ex-media manager for PCB as well. Mr. Hamid, welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure being here with you.
Thank you so very much. On my right is a guy who's actually scored UAE ke andar, the fresh off his superstar performance. They scored more against South Africa than India scored. An explosive wicketkeeper batsman. I've got Aryansh Sharma with me. Aryansh, thank you so very much for joining us on the show. It's going to be about UAE, it's going to be about England, it's going to be about Pakistan, but mainly it's going to be also about South Africa, West Indies and India. Sabse pehle, let's discuss the today's match. First of all, UAE, fresh off a high horse, like a full-on epic performance. How are you feeling in confidence right now, bro?
I mean, first of all, thank you for having me here. Talking about the experience, obviously playing at the highest stage, the World Cup stage at the age of 21, obviously it's a great feeling. And then putting up a performance like that to make your team win against Canada, I mean, that really gives me the confidence going forward in my career. And I wish I just keep continuing performing like that, like this, and make the team win.
And आपकी ये performance को amplify करने के लिए, you know, there's a lot related to like media as well. We got a perfect guest today.
Absolutely. To start off with, then yes, an absolute pleasure being here. The way that he batted was phenomenal. Winning that game against Canada, it had become pretty tight, right? The chase and his partnership with Sohaib. We were in a bit of trouble, and then the fact that he was able to bail out, leading with a brilliant innings. So congratulations, we are so proud of you, Aryansh. And we hope that this will continue. And I think a great campaign for UAE, which is something I think that the whole country needs to celebrate and be a part of, is how UAE were able to showcase their talent and ability at the global stage. As you said, it's the World Cup after all. And UAE were really there giving a real proper impression.
Now, the reason why we have these two guests in the studio, one is like an active, explosive cricketer. The second is a guy who I would need a lot of answers from, because मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अभी ना Indian broadcasters, we'll straight away get into this, are getting a little cocky. Right? अगर आप साउथ अफ्रीका और इंडिया का जो एड देखोगे, अगर आप प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस देखोगे, nothing to take away anything from the cricketers, right? You are high on confidence, you can say whatever you want, but जो outside माहौल broadcasters का बन रहा है, जो चैनल्स ऐड बना रहे हैं, वो तो अच्छा है. वेस्ट इंडीज की ऐड अभी तक हमने देखी नहीं, because South Africa got a lot of controversy. As a media manager, what advice do you have for them?
To be honest, I think it's about hyping things from their end and getting the maximum eyeballs. This is the World Cup at the end of the day, so we have to see where the broadcasters are coming from as well. So, देखें media में we need to kind of have everything kind of accounted for, right?
Correct.
Of course, there's a strategy, the long term, short term, etc. And it's just about, at the end of the day, dare I say, people are talking about it, right? For the right or the wrong reasons.
As a creative person, मुझे भी तो लगना चाहिए कि यार मैं सालों से वही कर रहा हूँ. और वो जो ad थी साउथ अफ्रीका इंडिया की, मतलब वो क्या ही था यार.
To be honest, I think I barely saw the ad, but I've read about it extensively. I think yes. Maybe I think they eventually did delete it, right?
यही तो फिर क्या इज्जत रहेगी? इज्जत क्या रहेगी ये बताओ? आपने इतना कॉकी बना के ऐड बनाया, फिर डिलीट करना पड़ गया. आपसे तो मैं बाद में बात करूंगा, पहले मीडिया मैनेजर से बात करूंगा.
In the world that we're living in आजकल, right? We do take those risks, maybe just देखने के लिए कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या नहीं हो रहा. But the bottom line remains, at the end of the day, I think it's just about trying to be there, create that narrative and all. Yes, maybe, probably they're reflecting on it as well. And let's see what they come up with here on in. But yes, these things do happen, right? And at the end of the day, it's all about just being there, being in the conversation, building the hype up and letting people talk. Yes, maybe I would still say कि line शायद probably cross नहीं करनी चाहिए.
Correct. And if you're like a regular person watching this on Stars Play, you have no idea what I'm talking about. एक ad बनाई गई है broadcasters के द्वारा जहाँ पे there's a cupcake, the Indian fan is saying, ha, hum cupcake khayenge and all, the South African fan comes and chokes on the cupcake and says, is baar bhi tum yahi karoge. Have you seen that? Is this the first time you're hearing about this?
I'm hearing about it.
They had to delete it after India lost to South Africa. So, anyways, moving on. Of course, we're going to talk about South Africa a lot. We're going to talk about India a lot because we're going to talk about West Indies a lot. But right now, let's just get into the England versus Pakistan game. हिस्ट्री की अगर बात करूं तो T20 इंटरनेशनल्स के अंदर में इंग्लैंड वर्सेस पाकिस्तान इज द स्कोर 21-9. इंग्लैंड इज 121, पाकिस्तान इज 1-9, राइट? इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ T20 वर्ल्ड कप, Pakistan has never won against England. 0-3. Yeah. Take me through that. What is the strategy you should have as a Pakistan cricket team?
For today, basically, I think England, yes, just to talk about the rivalry a bit more, it's lopsided in England's favor, and I think recently it's the England power. By recent, I mean whenever they've played in the last 2-3 years, it's just the sheer power that England possess, especially in their batting lineup, and they've got such a quality bowling attack as well. That's really been a tough nut to crack for Pakistan. This time around, I think it's just that a lot of people have spoken about it. Maybe you have also in your earlier episode. This is the combination, the 11 that's chosen, right? The game is being played in Kandy in Palakele. The pitch apparently is not the one that's been used before for the games over there, so that'll be crucial. You see, whatever little cricket I played, I always wanted to be a fast bowler. So what I'm trying to come to is that fast bowling I have a huge passion for. I want to have fast bowlers in action. So basically, what Pakistan have been doing is that they haven't really given Naseem Shah an opportunity. So maybe if probably they can.
I feel Naseem Shah should have gotten an opportunity way earlier.
In my opinion as well. But yes, of course, the management over there, they probably have a plan, they have a strategy in place. Hassan is a very accomplished coach. Let's not forget that. He's achieved a lot with New Zealand and other franchises that he's worked with. Salman Ali Agha is also pretty sharp brain. So hopefully they've got this figured. But as I said, हमारे यहाँ कहते हैं pace is pace, यार. So maybe pace is the key. Hopefully we'll have Naseem Shah in action.
The good news is, for the Pakistan cricket fans watching this, Kandy का ना wicket ये वाला ऐसा है कि it'll help seamers early. And then the spin comes into play in the later stage of the game as well. What is your team combination for Pakistan, Aryansh?
I think, like how Sir said, Naseem Shah should have played before.
Same.
But, yes.
I feel same.
But then I think why he hasn't played is probably because of the conditions that Sri Lanka has.
Okay.
It's mostly spin conditions over there. Now that you're saying कि आज के match में seam का हो सकता है, I think there might be a chance he might play. But I think the only reason why he must have not played till now is because of the spin conditions in Sri Lanka. Fair enough.
जब शाहीन को drop किया तो नसीम को क्यों नहीं select किया?
Good question, but I think Salman Mirza had done fairly well in the opening game. I believe that was against Netherlands. You remember that cliffhanger that Fahim Ashraf was able to get Pakistan across the line, and so that's probably the reason. That's probably the thought. Salman Mirza has been doing fairly well. He's a very potent left-arm bowler. Has the ability to swing, seam, etc. Can be pretty nippy as well. But then again, as I said, if I was there, part of the think tank, maybe yes, extra pacer for me. And you still have so many spin bowling options anyway. So for instance, if you maybe bring in Naseem, you still would have about at least 3 to 4 very decent spin bowling options, including Saim Ayub and one among Shadab and Nawaz, whoever sits out. And then, of course, you've got Usman Tariq, the X Factor. And for people who are here in Dubai, they saw Usman Tariq, the impact he made in the ILT T20.
That's Vipers, right?
For the Vipers in the final. And Naseem Shah both. And I remember people were talking about that Naseem Shah is ready for the World Cup, right? After his performances in the ILT20 and Usman Tariq. So context being, hopefully Pakistan give them a shot. Of course, Usman is part of the squad anyway of the 11, but Naseem Shah, potentially if he makes it, maybe we'll give that all-round effect. And also, let's not forget he can hit the ball batting second as well. He's hit some big sixes at crucial times for Pakistan.
As a UAE cricket player in the T20 current World Cup, what all stadiums you've played in?
We played 2 stadiums. One was in Chennai.
Correct.
M.A. Chidambaram Stadium.
And that's the same one India-Zimbabwe is going to happen?
Yes.
Correct.
And
but you and our previous guest told us that you guys went into thinking कि यार बहुत turn होने वाला है.
Yes.
But in the entire World Cup, that's the pitch that is turning the least.
Yes, because we have heard that Chennai has a red soil wicket.
Correct.
So we were expecting that it'll turn, but I think, as you said, it has been the least turn in the whole venues.
And the second stadium you played in?
Delhi, Arun Jaitley Stadium.
So मुझे बताओ अभी तक सबसे मजा इंडिया का जो माहौल होता है, right? When you play a World Cup game, the players are there, of course, the broadcasting is at a different level, ICC is involved as well, the fans are at a different high. Which is a better stadium to play in?
I think for me personally, also because I'm from Delhi, I would say Delhi, and plus the fans also. I think they're more. I think they like to watch and enjoy more. I feel over there in Delhi, so I think Delhi was probably better for me.
इतना soft आदमी, इतना soft spoken आदमी दिल्ली से कब से हो गया आर्यांश?
देखा हमने इसको ट्रेन अच्छा किया.
Now I saw a picture of Babar Azam bowling. See, let's not take away the fact that England has some really good part-timers who are performing full-time in this World Cup, who are spinning last match even the
Will Jacks, yeah.
Will Jacks, right? It was crazy to see them bowl and how good they're bowling, not just Adil Rashid. Now, Babar Azam is as a bowler, because then he'll kind of settle that debate of striking.
What I remember is I think he's probably got a wicket or two in test match cricket. So I'm not sure that he'll be part of the bowling plans. As I said, they've got adequate bowling resources anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So many spinners, I think 6, 7 odd spinners in the 11. That's what they've been going with. And then, so I'm not sure if Babar will bowl. Probably was just at the end of what happens at the training session, because I've seen quite a few up close. I think it's just that people have a bit of fun towards the end. They just want to, as you would probably know as well, they just want to roll their arm over. As a wicketkeeper, maybe you would want to bowl a bit, or someone would just try and wear the wicketkeeper gloves. So probably that's what it is. I haven't seen the footage, but that's what my guess is.
But I really hope इतने सारे अच्छे spinners होने के बाद में आपको बाबर आजम की जरूरत ना पड़े.
If Pakistan need Babar as a bowler, then they are in massive trouble today.
Correct.
Just to add, मैं भी नेट में bowling डाल देता हूँ सर को दिखाने के लिए.
आई वाह, ये एक दिन मौका आएगा bowling का भाई, bowling का मौका आएगा. Aryansh, Imad, we're going to move on to our next segment. This is the most important segment, and I'm going to talk to our viewers as well. This is the segment where we break down this net run rate problem. India कैसे qualify होगा? It's called In Case You Missed It. सबसे पहले West Indies versus Zimbabwe. Now 254 in 20 overs, bro. In 20 overs, 31 sixes in a T20 over innings, which is a world record again. This match, हम लोग को ऐसा Indians को एकदम full. It's a big problem. It's a big problem.
You see, West Indies ko na log, I think they were underestimating them, and the fact is that they've already been two-time winners, 2012 and 2016, and they've got incredible power. We've seen so many of their players play the ILT20 as well, the Hetmeyers, the Rutherfords, the Powells, Shafin, Rutherford, Romario Shepherd. Even at the top of the order, Shai Hope has also played here. So basically, they've got incredible power. So just the way that they're built, so छक्के लगाना उनके लिए बहुत easy. If I remember correctly, 2016 World Cup also, maybe I think they hit the most sixes. So they were the teams who were hitting sixes, and they were not the ones believing in what we say rotation of strike, right? Single and double. That's not the Darren Sammy mantra. That's not the West Indian mantra. And I think it's worked really well for them. Incredible power on a flat pitch. They can absolutely decimate any opposition in the world. So yes, always a threat in this format.
Yeah, if you see West Indies playing in India, right, they're looking like a completely different beast. They won their World Cup in India as well, the T20 World Cup, that was in India. They play IPL, so basically har ground unke liye home ground type feel ho raha hai. Yeah, and they're very good players of spin as well. Now, the question is, our main net run rate ke alawa, how will India qualify? If any Indian fan watching this, first things first, okay, net run rate की बात जो maths calculations है वो सब बाद में करेंगे. South Africa has to win all their matches, and India has to win all their matches. If that is the equation, we're through to the semis, right? But if West Indies beat South Africa, the calculation are absolutely crazy. We'll talk about that. But do you think West Indies can beat South Africa? I think yes.
I think the way they are playing, yes, but also the way South Africa has played, I mean, that'll be a very good game to watch.
It's a day game in Ahmedabad again. मेरे हिसाब से अलग मनुष्यत है स्टेडियम के अंदर. We talk about that also, but right now, can West Indies beat South Africa?
I think West Indies can beat South Africa. West Indies can beat any team in the world, right? With their power that they have. I think there's nothing more in terms of the absolute ability to hit and to have that power which that West Indies possess. Let us not forget they have a very potent bowling attack as well. They've got the spin options, they've got the fast bowling options. They can definitely beat any team in the world. South Africa, yes, I think it'll be a very, very good contest. Ahmedabad, South Africa have been playing a lot of games there as well, so they're fully aware. But then West Indies, as you just have rightly said as well, they play all over India anyway. So they've got adequate experience. So it's going to be a cliffhanger. I still think, as we were discussing just before we got here, I think India still have a chance, very strong chance. Let us not forget they're playing Zimbabwe first. So potentially, Zimbabwe, with all due respect to them, probably are not as strong as the rest of the teams in Super 8. So India has a chance of really going big against Zimbabwe, winning by a massive margin, whether they bat second or they bowl first, or they bat first, right? So they have the the margin of going really big against Zimbabwe.
Correct.
And then if that win is taken care of, then it'll give them a lot of confidence for the West Indies game.
Correct.
And they'll know the equation, what they have to do in order to progress to the semis.
अभी सारे इंडियन फैंस एक ही प्रेयर कर रहे हैं कि भाई प्लीज साउथ अफ्रीका अपने सारे मैचेस जीत जाए. If West Indies win, we're out. There is no question in that.
Again, जैसे मैंने explain किया, मेरे ख्याल से फिर भी chance है.
Chance
Now
है.
strong है because the Zimbabwe
Yes.
game is a real opportunity for India.
And उसके अंदर I've got that calculation as well. We'll get into that. But right now, एक chance और है. History हमारी side है या नहीं? 2007 T20 World Cup history repeating exactly the same. Zimbabwe beat Australia in group stage. India beat Pakistan in group stage. India lost their first Super 8 match. And then India went on to win the finals. And exactly what we were discussing off cameras as well. As an Indian cricket fan, we are upset and we are very, very upset. But it's a one-off. On the trot of winning like last 25, 20, 30 matches, this is one-off where you've lost. But the fans are criticizing, we are criticizing, everybody's talking about this team, how we are struggling. The timing is wrong, you think?
I still think it's an incredible team. Look at what they have achieved, 23 onwards, and the fact that they've remained unbeaten. They won the Champions Trophy, they won the 2024 World Cup, they remained unbeaten there. They won the Asia Cup, remained unbeaten in Champions Trophy. I think 20-odd match streak across ICC events.
Yep.
That is a massive achievement. I think 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 25 years down the line, people will respect for what this side is all about. This side has been absolutely exceptional, unreal. And the ability, and you look at, say, from absolute top, from 1 to 11, the match winners that you have on the bench.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very formidable squad. I think it's a one-off. India is still very much in the tournament.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if they don't make it to the semis, really.
Yeah,
And
I will not be.
I understand where you're coming from as well. You see, we are subcontinental fans at the end of the day.
भावुक है ना, हम emotional है.
Exactly.
आप तो दिल्ली वाला behave भी नहीं कर रहे हो.
हमारा heart is on our sleeves, right? So basically, we just live with cricket. We die with cricket, right?
Yeah.
We consume cricket left, right, and center, day in, day out. For us, of course, even one defeat means a lot. But then again, I think this team, for me, as someone who hails from Pakistan, has set a massive legacy.
Yeah.
They have shown the world how this format, how this tournament, and how big matches are to be played. How you control your nerves. Let us not forget, 1 billion plus people are backing their team all the time. Just imagine the pressure. No other team in the world experiences it.
गालियाँ भी उतनी मिलती है, sir.
That's what I'm saying. No other team in the world experiences it.
Correct.
So hats off for whatever they've delivered.
Yeah. Aryansh, everybody talks about this team's like skill level, right? Even Imad was talking about the skill level of this team. Now you played in the current World Cup. Yeah. You've seen not closely India, but you've seen the skill level that the current teams possess. Talk to me about that. When you're practicing, when you see the same team practicing in the next whatever session, what do you tell yourself?
They played sorry for coming in here, but they played New Zealand and South Africa.
They played New Zealand, South Africa.
Yes,
correct.
exactly.
So the skill level is completely different.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the game that South Africa played against India, I wasn't surprised because I think at this point they look the strongest in the whole World Cup because they have all the bases covered and probably strongest pace attack as well. So I think obviously playing against these teams, you understand that you still have a lot to improve.
Yeah.
But I think you take positives also when you perform like that. Like against New Zealand, when two of our batters were Seam Bhai and Alishan got 50s and we got a score of 170. I think against against South Africa, the way Dhruv bowled. So I think these are positives you look at, but obviously you still understand that you still need to work a lot more and improve as an associate
And
cricketer.
coming quickly in the South Africa game, Alishan, the way that he combated the pace after being hit on the head twice, the guts that he showed, absolutely incredible. So that which shows, again, slight digression to what your question was, but there's fight, there's resilience.
There is.
And also there's a lot of exposure for these players as well, right? When you play with these players regularly, maybe in ILT20 and at the world stage, it's the exposure that helps them gain. But yes, I think must have been a phenomenal experience with both South Africa and New Zealand, and even Afghanistan, the quality that they bring.
Yeah, because now it's not about the gear anymore. It's just about skills, right? Because gear sabke paas almost same, right? Like एक टाइम था मिलेनियल्स के लिए हमारे होता था, याद है जब हम खेलते थे, ओ बल्ला देखो उसका,
जो बल्ला लेके घर चला जाता था, खेल नहीं पाते थे.
Talk to me about it.
No, I think obviously, but I think talking about the India game, the one-off day that they had, I think we have to also look at the way they have played from past 1 year under Gautam Gambhir, right?
Yeah.
You obviously will have 1 or 2 bad days, and I think it's good for them that they had it in the first game in Super 8. So now they know that what they need to do, because both the games for them are very important.
Yeah. Speaking of both the games, right? Once again, bringing it back to the एक तो ये calculation, net run rate, दिमाग खराब हो गया. मैं सुबह
इतना टेंशन ना ले
भाई मैं पसीना, मैं सुबह 8 बजे से देख रहा हूँ क्या net run rate
लेकिन आप ना ले स्ट्रेस हो जाएगा.
So listen to this. South Africa has to win all their games. Simple. India has to win all their games. If this happens, we're through.
You don't need the calculator.
Leave the calculator. लेकिन West Indies ने अगर South Africa को हरा दिया, then India will need to win by 150 runs का margin against Zimbabwe.
I think,
And that's not it. After that, India must defeat West Indies by 40 plus runs. Only then India का net run rate will match West Indies के आसपास and give them a chance to qualify for the semi-finals. एक बात बताओ, can West Indies, चलो ठीक है 40 plus runs का तो margin में समझ सकता हूँ. Can India beat Zimbabwe with 150 या 100 plus runs का margin?
I'm not sure, to be honest, about these calculations. I'll be very honest with you.
Correct.
I still think if, say, forget about 150, even if they beat them by 60, 70, 80 runs or chase down the score in 8, 10 overs, depending on whatever Zimbabwe make, they would still be very much in the hunt, is what my hunch is.
Okay.
I think while it looks ominous on paper, I don't think it's that ominous because, again, as I keep stressing, the Zimbabwe game gives you that opportunity of clawing back and then nailing it in the West Indies game, right? So basically, I don't think that the difference is that big. Yes, West Indies have a formidable net run rate, but what if they lose to South Africa? That will probably take a hit as well.
Yep.
Let's not forget.
Yep.
We don't know what the margins of South Africa's potential win against West Indies can be. How much India will, what kind of a win they'll achieve against Zimbabwe. So there's a lot of things to play. I think it's not still that straightforward in terms of the equation. This
What
equation
if
will
situation
change.
में आना ही क्यों था?
नहीं आए हैं ना आप दोनों जीत अभी भी chance है, as I keep saying. Maybe you won't, you probably, maybe who knows, you will not require the calculator at the end of the day.
Inshallah.
You still don't know that
But I think these scenarios make the World Cup
so
even
interesting,
exciting.
right?
Course,
So
absolutely.
interesting, right?
Exactly.
Look, being a Pakistan fan and like having worked with the Pakistan team, we have always lived with the calculator.
Yeah.
Right? So every event, it's been about net run rates, it's about this team beating that, etc. That's how our wins have been over the years. So we are fully aware and accustomed with how the calculator operates.
You've traveled enough. So you played in I'm talking about in this current World Cup, you played in Chennai and then you played in Delhi. So that's literally south and north almost, right? Now, one advantage, if there's anyone, of course, South African fans want them to be unbeaten. West Indies is unbeaten in this tournament as well. So the match that day in the daytime is going to be very interesting. Both teams are unbeaten right now. Lekin, talking about traveling, one advantage, if there's any South African fan watching this or an Indian fan watching this, hoping South Africa wins against West Indies, the advantage South Africa has is, till now, Canada ke against, Afghanistan ke against, New Zealand ke against, India ke against, and now the next match against West Indies is also in Ahmedabad. So they have kind of advantage of the ground. How that advantage works in a player's favor or a team's favor?
I think that factor is really important because they have played 4 games already over there, and if I'm not wrong, they have won all the 4 games
Correct.
as well. So
Yeah,
I think
unbeaten.
so I think that's the confidence they will have.
Yeah.
But again, it's about the day, right? Because West Indies is also playing some really good cricket, and I think they are actually looking like a champion side.
Correct.
But obviously, whatever happens on that day, I think obviously South Africa has the advantage of playing 4 games, but you never know, T20 cricket.
And I feel यहाँ पे जो भी क्रिकेट थोड़ा बहुत मैंने खेला है, मुझे लगता है कि अभी तक वेस्ट इंडीज ने जो भी गेम्स खेले हैं वो छोटे ग्राउंड्स में खेले हैं. सो मिस हिट, स्पिन, एजेस, टॉप एजेस, बाउंड्री कैचेस इन अ बिग ग्राउंड लाइक अहमदाबाद comes in a lot of contention, right?
I'm very happy आपका optimism आ गया एकदम. आपने अच्छा टर्न मारा.
मैं न्यूट्रल हूँ. मैं तो
हर
जो
जगह से
फैंस
इंडिया को क्वालीफाई करवाने के लिए
मैंने तो पहले करा दिया. आप मेहनत ना करें जैसे कहते हैं ना. But sorry, if I may answer, yes, of course, I think these are all factors. But Aryansh, of course, he's the player. He knows it much better from that perspective. I think the bottom line remains, it is still the end of the day. It might sound really cliche, might sound very boring, but whatever your strengths are, if you can't deliver on the day, then anything can happen. Like, even with the lopsided India-Pakistan record, one day Pakistan did beat India by 10 wickets.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, so anything can happen in this format. And historically, so much has happened in this format.
Yeah.
Let us not forget Zimbabwe losing to Australia. And Australia, if you look at their firepower,
it's
I think it was one team that could probably have matched to the West Indies. They had Stoinis, they had Tim David, they had Cameron Green, Head, like Marsh. Look at the kind of strength and power that that Australian side had. But they were undone by Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
So again,
you never know.
Cricket, exactly.
You never know. And here's my question to you. In a crunch situation like this, and somebody who's actually performed in a very good situation, crunch situation as well, in the current T20 World Cup, what do you tell yourself as a player?
I think if I talk about myself, or I was talking on that day against Canada, it was all about telling myself that let me just stay till the end, and I kept telling myself that I should believe in myself, and as long as I have the belief to do it, I will do it. Because if I did not believe at that stage when the required run rate was 14 or 15, I could have easily given away my wicket and I could have got outside in the dugout. But then I just kept telling myself, let's just believe. I know if I stay till the end, I will get close and I will make the team win. So it's all about the belief.
Yeah. One thing I also kind of believe in is a lot of people are talking about how Narendra Modi Cricket Stadium is like a not lucky stadium for the Indian cricket fans, right? Everybody's spoken about that. Ye sari baat ho gayi. I also feel Richard Kettleborough, the umpire. Let me take you through the stats. He's also kind of unlucky for the Indian cricket fans, right? 2026 T20 World Cup Super 8 on-field umpire, Richard Kettleborough. 2023 ODI World Cup final against Australia, on-field umpire,
Richard Kettleborough.
Correct. 2023 World Test Championship final against Australia, TV umpire, Richard Kettleborough. 2020 World Test Championship final against New Zealand, TV umpire, Richard Kettleborough. 2019 ODI World Cup.
Pointed for all India-Pakistan games.
अरे sir, 2017 Champions Trophy final against Pakistan, on-field umpire.
अब ये सब मैचेस में लगवाएंगे सर. I'll probably need to reach out to ICC.
बस 2016 T20 World Cup semi-final West Indies, on-field umpire. 2015 ODI World Cup semi-final against on-field umpire. 2014 T20 World Cup on-field umpire against Sri Lanka.
Again, I think just probably a coincidence.
Yeah,
to be honest.
it is. It's just for the views.
And, I know. And basically, there probably so many. If you again are picking up the stats, probably so many on the other side who were proved to be lucky as well.
Correct.
Right? So you never know.
Correct.
So it's just, I think coincidence.
But एक request है ICC से बस T20 India Pakistan में on-field umpire no Richard Kettleborough. No Richard. Now let's talk about this stat, and I'm going to move to Aryansh for this. I've found this stat where most dot balls by a team in a T20 World Cup in this 2026 edition, right? This is where I thought India will not come in the top 3. Number 1 pe it's England, surprisingly. Number 2 pe it's India, 243 dot balls. And number 3 pe it is West Indies by 243 dot balls against South Africa, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, surprisingly, is very low down in this order, Zimbabwe and New Zealand. Now moving on, how crucial this stat is going to be.
I think again it's about how they play. The aggressive style they play. It's either boundaries or dots, I feel. So I think they shouldn't be focusing too much on this stat. And I think the team, the way India is, I still think they should not think about anything and just focus on what they need to do and how they have been playing actually. They just need to do that, and I think they'll win both the games. I honestly feel they'll win both the games.
I think if I can just jump in my humble opinion, I think it's a very relevant start. It's a overhyped start, which I think has I won't say it doesn't have value, but it has limited value.
Correct.
I was just giving you the example of West Indies. 2016, they were the team that hit the most sixes.
Correct.
So if you're hitting 31 sixes in a match, who cares about how many dot balls you strike?
Absolutely.
So it's just the relevance and context that is very important. So England, again, they are made of players who clear the boundary at will. So it's just the context. India, again, similar. So context is the key, boss.
Fair enough. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It looks कि यार थोड़ा
बहुत ज़रूरी है. बहुत ज़रूरी है. एक और चीज़ जो teams traveling in this World Cup in terms of kilometers in the T20 World Cup at the end of the Super 8, India has traveled 10,400 kilometers, and this is as a media manager for a team because you do a lot of traveling, right? West Indies again 8,297, England 4,000, Zimbabwe 5,000 zyada, New Zealand close to 4,500, South Africa 2,900. Pakistan has not travelled much because they're playing all their matches in Sri Lanka, so their maximum travel is 150. When you talk about finishing your games and travelling, as a manager of a team, how difficult it is to like again get up, go to the ground, change? How much does it affect a player?
I think it is challenging, but then probably I am coming more from a management's perspective. I think at the end of the day, it's still about the players who have to play on the field, right? So I think Aryansh probably can answer best as to whether this kind of travel takes its toll or not. But I think it's important to mention this, that at least the international travel is very well taken care of. They travel in like business class, etc. as well.
That's nice.
So it's not that the travel is not comfortable. But then again, I won't really want to talk from a player's perspective.
Yeah, I mean,
so talk to me as a player's perspective. How are you traveling? Is this because Emirates is one of the big leading sponsors? Are you doing charter flights? Are you doing commercial flights? Are you doing economy? Are you doing business? Talk to me about it.
I think so. When you travel from your home country for the tournament to and from, you travel in business class.
All the
players and management
entire
as
squad.
well. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and when you travel during the tournaments from one venue to another, you travel in a charter flight.
Oh,
but that's not Emirates. That's I think Indigo.
Fair enough. So that's still a charter flight.
Yeah, it's only
commercial.
you. Yeah, it's only you. Still, so it's relaxing.
So it's pretty comfortable. But then again, as I said, I won't really want to talk on the behalf of a player, because of course they only know what kind of toil it takes on them, because they are the ones at the end of the day who have to play, execute their skills, etc. Right?
Fair enough.
Because mostly you travel right after the game, like basically the next day.
Correct.
So let's say, for example, if
sleep takes a toll, bro.
Yeah. For example, if you have like for us, it was a 5 p.m. flight.
Correct.
We had to give our luggage at 10 a.m. So we had to wake up early, pack and stuff, right?
And then play the game.
And then we had to travel. Okay. And even if it's a 3-hour flight, it's not only the 3-hour flight.
Of course, it's a 5-hour total commitment, right? Going to the airport and then from there going back to the hotel.
Exactly. And then again tomorrow you have practice session in the morning, or depending what time your game is.
But again, it's funny since you bring this up. What I'll say that there's a lot of talk now that you have got so many people now in the management and the squad. Right? Back in the day, you probably had only one manager.
Correct.
But I think it's how the modern game is played, and all these people help organize and they try and ensure that the players out there are fully focused. So all the management, everyone there has a particular role, which cannot be undermined at all.
And the staff is crazy.
It's basically at the end of the day a team effort. All of them united to ensure that the 11 on the field get their absolute best.
Manager साहब करे, don't be a diva. Manager साहब छोटी बात नहीं करे कि पैक तो खुद करोगे, वो भी हम थोड़ी आगे करेंगे.
कर देते हैं ये लोग.
पैक तो बताता है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
Aryansh, I'm going to talk about Darren Sammy, right? This guy, 2012 World Cup as captain, the T20 World Cup. West Indies won against under Darren Sammy. 2016 T20 World Cup, West Indies won against Darren Sammy, and Darren Sammy is now the coach, right? And I'm going to throw this question to both of you, right? One who's a player, if you are working with someone who's a World Cup winning champion who knows how to win, how does it affect the mentality of the squad?
Yeah, I think if someone like that is in your dressing room, so he knows the ways you can win these big tournaments, because obviously these tournaments are high pressure tournaments, right? So if you have a person in your dugout who has won these tournaments as a player and now he's a coach, obviously you wanna read his mind, and he has the best mind to tell you how to win these games. So obviously that's a very big benefit and a plus, I guess.
Now, when that same World Cup winning champion twice moves into the management, how is it working with that kind of person?
So I think I've been fortunate enough to have worked with Darren Sammy, with Peshawar Zalmi, the PSL franchise. I spent about more than a year with them, went very closely, and I have a very good relationship with him. He's an unreal guy. Like he's an incredible inspiration. When you talk about the fact that if you say leadership, then that guy literally embodies leadership. He's an inspiration. Just the way he will talk, just the way he will bring everyone together. His energy is unreal.
Yeah.
Like he is so passionate about what he does. And I think I remember 2017 Peshawar Zalmi winning the PSL. He was literally on one leg. And he kept motivating, and whatever he could contribute, it was more his leadership. Same in 2016.
Yeah.
To talk about the numbers, I think Darren Sammy maybe hardly contributed on the field.
Yeah.
It was just the character. It was just the inspiration. Him being there as the captain.
I'm getting goosebumps as you talk about
this. And I, as I said, I've had a fantastic time with him, and just the way that he kind of motivates his players. So that is what has really helped the West Indies. Even now as a coach, he was the coach in 24 as well. I was there working closely on a few West Indies games in the Caribbean. And then we saw him also, how he wanted to rally the entire West Indies, all the island nations. Of course, they are a very uniquely placed cricketing nation, if one might say, right? All islands coming together and representing, and how he wanted to have that unity and how he spoke about it at every possible occasion.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they were not able to win the World Cup. And I believe they didn't even make it to the semis, but they really fought hard. Same here again, and we also know that these West Indies players, they have it really tough. Like some of them have contracts, some choose a franchise over the international cricket games, etc. So there are a lot of complexities there. But
and that's where Darren Sammy comes in to bind all of them together, man. That was beautiful.
And we probably are seeing the rewards on the field.
Yeah.
And I think one thing to add to what Sir said, let's not forget they haven't really performed well in Test, in ODIs.
Correct.
Yeah.
Before this
format,
World Cup. And even in the T20I series before this, when they had in Dubai Stadium against Afghanistan, they lost that series.
Correct.
So coming into this tournament, performing like this, I think that Darren Semi mindset really helps a lot.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm scared about West Indies, South Africa, guys. Cut to our next segment. Stars Play Replay, where I'm going to show you whatever matches have happened, because we're the official broadcasters for the ICC T20 Men's World Cup. We got the rights to these clips, right?
Yeah.
We're going to show you some clips. Let's react to them.
Okay.
Stars Play Replay. Now we're going to talk about the West Indies versus Zimbabwe ka match. Crazy amount of sixes, but in that high scoring match, Gurukesh Moti still managed to take 4 wickets. Let's play the clip.
Clean them up. That's the response from Gurukesh Moti.
That's a good ball, right?
That's a ball that every bowler dreams of, top of off.
Spin it. Love to see where all these dismissals are pitched.
Now look at this. Oh my god, the seam position.
Probably not as much turn playing across the line. It is a challenging shot.
I don't think
I think down the wrong line as well. Right?
he's
Done so often,
He played for the straighter one, but it turned.
Yes.
Man, this guy, I'm scared of the bowling as well now, bro. Look at this, another same ball. Like you've genuinely gone for a drive, like on drive.
Exactly, and Sikandar Raza, of course, he's such a top-class player. To get him out like that, that's massive. And of course, Moti was the decisive factor.
And this is a proper test match ball.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a proper test match ball.
Pitched and turned away.
at that.
Dream ball, right?
Yes, exactly.
Maybe Heather would be proud of it. Heather Ali and Simranjeet, the UAE left
Oh
arm.
my god, another. It's like bro,
Everything
her
hitting
line
top of
length
her.
is so good.
Yeah.
Enjoys these middle overs as
It is so good. The thing is, I'm kind of also scared of West Indies, bro. I am. I'm being very scared of West Indies. I'm telling you in India. The bowling is doing well, the batting is doing well, the fielding is tremendous as well.
Should I remind you that they knocked you out in the 2016 World Cup?
Awaaz nahi aa rahi, hello?
Straight to him.
That's a great catch, by the way. Look at the catch.
Moti is having a field night. They travel quickly.
No, I
Mark
think this
Joseph,
is
right? Yes.
Yeah, I think this is a team.
He's a great athlete again.
You have to watch out for him.
We all have to.
Yes.
Like, I feel. Okay, before we get into the next clip, your finalists.
Oh, that's a good question. I would say, honestly, West Indies, South Africa.
Same. Yours?
As much as I would want Pakistan to be there, I think they still have some challenges with their 11. So I think England, India.
I feel West Indies, South Africa. A very strong feeling. Our
Yes.
next clip is going to be, okay, by the way, we spoke about how this match, West Indies, Zimbabwe, was a world record breaker. 31 sixes in 20 overs from one side. We talk about the biggest sixes in that match. Play that. Hetmeyer ne to alag hi khela. Hetmeyer is playing for IPL mein Rajasthan, right?
Yes.
He's got so much power, and again, I'll just quickly bring in maybe the IIT20. I remember him hitting a last ball 6 as well to win a game once in the IIT20 when there were 4 or 5 required, and he hit a 6 in Abu Dhabi. So he's got that enormous power in the big, massive
And
boy,
he's looking
right?
fitter now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So look at those muscles on him. Look at those broad shoulders.
Power.
That's a crazy shot. It's all about timing, right?
And he's played what, 19 balls there? That's it. Here's it. Powell again.
I think this is proper West Indies batting.
Exactly.
Proper West
They
Indies
used to call it
batting.
the Calypso flair, right?
Yeah.
That is what it is. They're so pumped. Just look at their determination and just the way that they wanted to excel in the game.
That ball went outside the ground. Look at this shot. Look at this shot, bro. Talk to me about hitting this big six.
Oh my
What's the highest or the biggest six you've hit? Wait, एक second बताओ. हम लोग टीवी में देखते हैं 110 मीटर, 109 मीटर. How big in context is 109 meters? Explain it to me.
No, I think it's like उस टाइम ऐसा लगता है कि अगर 2 ग्राउंड होते हैं ना, 2 ग्राउंड तब भी छक्का जाता है वो. इतना लंबा होता है. Because I remember against us also Brevis hit a 6. It went to the second or the third tier in Delhi Stadium. So I think that was massive, that was 110.
I think so. Just calculate 70 meters is an average boundary, right? 70, 68, 70 meters. 65 to 70 meters. It's going 109 meters, which means it's deep in the stand. 30, 35 meters extra. That's a massive hit. That's a massive hit by every stretch.
Explain like to a non-cricketer playing, कितना दूर लगती है बॉल जाते हुए?
बहुत ज्यादा दूर लगती है.
यहाँ से अगर आप देख रहे हैं समंदर में पानी में चली जाए बॉल
ऐसा ही लगता है.
नहीं होगा जी.
ओशन में चली गई है.
बल्कि आई थिंक पानी भी करीब है. deep in the पानी.
How difficult is it to hit and what kind of setup, what kind of practice you have to go to do that kind of power hitting?
Obviously power hitting के लिए you have specific drills you do. But I think it only comes when you play in the match and you feel it, like how because sometimes you don't really need to hit with power.
Yes,
for sixes.
Timing.
It's more about timing because timing से भी बहुत ज़्यादा लंबे and far sixes जाते हैं.
मैं अपना थोड़ा बैटिंग का anecdote देता हूँ अपने छोटे से करियर का.
Please, मुझे भी तो मैं भी खेलता हूँ थोड़ा बहुत.
Because I think he mentioned timing. I used to like hitting sixes because as a bowler, as a club cricketer back in Karachi, and I remember one particular shot, and I'd only timed it. I was opening the innings, new ball, and I thought it's still probably I'll just clear the circle. It cleared the stadium. Just because.
What?
So once you time the ball proper, and if you have a decent bat, decent connection. Power is important, but then timing really accentuates the impact.
Because ball speed is also fast.
Exactly.
So it's just about timing.
Yes.
Timing से चले जाता है.
जैसे हम आते हैं टाइमिंग से. उन्होंने अभी आयरलैंड के अगेंस्ट ही बहुत अच्छे छक्के मारे थे. I remember. तो वो he knows how to do it.
Media manager doing full media manager. Our last clip for Stars Play Replay is going to be something that I absolutely love.
Sure.
And this again brings me to all the outside noise and the drama that happens, no handshakes and all. This is how the game is supposed to be played, guys. And I was watching the match yesterday. I was scared for Sikandar Raza when Powell comes and hits the ball ferociously. Thank God he put his hands, because that reaction also is crazy. Let's play that clip and we'll realize how dangerous this hit could have been if Raza didn't have his hands in front of his face.
Great acceleration.
And then uske baad mein what Powell does touches your heart. Look at this.
Ouch, I hope he's okay.
Bro.
Zimbabwe cannot afford
That
to lose
is,
him.
that's probably, as they say, literally a rocket off his bat.
Look what Powell does.
And they're great teammates as well. Rakshit, I think they played a lot for one of the franchises, Dubai Capitals as well. And Powell, just the care that he had for Sikandar. That reminds me of a very ugly incident, by the way. I don't know if you've seen that clip on YouTube. I won't want to mention it here, but I can probably send you the link. One Zimbabwean player who got hit. It was pretty ugly.
Crazy. But look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
And I think one reason, everyone in the world of cricket appreciate West Indies is also because of the character the players have.
They're very friendly.
Very friendly players.
Yeah.
Very friendly.
Even in the last World Cup when West Indies won in India, every Indian cricket fan was sad that they are out of the tournament, but they were very happy for West Indies. The way they were celebrating, the way they were enjoying. And I remember the finals, every Indian cricket fan was there in West Indies colours.
In fact, and even Kolkata, if you remember that when Ben Stokes was being hit, it was enormous. The noise, because everyone was railing for West Indies. That's their cry anyway. Rally for the West Indies, right? And there was railing and proper. The entire stadium was with the Brathwaite when he hit those sixes. So yes, of course, they're a very likable team as well. And maybe because people have such solid connection, probably not Aryansh, since he, of course, is much younger than people who have seen the West Indies maybe in the late 80s or the 90s, the way that they used to dominate cricket, but the right spirit, the way that they used to play, and even their fast bowlers, they were so aggressive, but they would never say a word to anyone, right? That's the stories that you've grown up hearing and seeing them perform and completely dismantle all teams. There's always that lot of respect and love that you have for West Indies cricket.
And I think one more incident, not only the men team, but I think the under-19 in one of the under-19 World Cups also, I think New Zealand batter fell or was injured. So I think the West Indies players,
Wow.
2 players carried
Yeah,
him
yeah.
outside
Wow.
the field.
So you gotta love them, man.
Yeah, they have
You
a
gotta
big
love
heart.
them. They have a big heart. They celebrate. They're like just like fun.
So I'm sure you'll be
people.
easy if they beat India, right? A day or two later.
By the time we see you in the next episode number 8, I hope India's hopes are still alive in this World Cup. Thank you for joining me, Imad.
Pleasure.
Thank you so very
Absolute
much,
pleasure,
Aryansh.
bro.
This is Stars Play Off the Mark with me, Parikshit. Hopefully, India's still qualifying for the semis. We'll find out in the next episode of the show. Thank you for watching.